Hi everybody, it's me, Gabrielle, the battling bard, Amazon queen, Amazon princess, Gabrielle convention, antagonizing blonde. And today I want to make a video on YouTube, and the reason I'm going to do this is because a lot of people, this is a question that some of them might be asking me, why does my quartet staff always fall out of my hand? Well, first off, a lot of people are going to throw a lot of theories around. First, they're going to say, Toys Biz never intended for me to be carrying my quartet staff around or be holding up towards a camera with my hand. Well, I really don't know why. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give my little blog on what I think about this whole situation. Okay, Donald Trump was sworn in as president on January the 20th. When all of that was going on, apparently, Washington District of Columbia, United States, was celebrating. Well, even if they weren't celebrating, they were protesting, but at least they were doing the protesting that's legal in the law. You know, when you speak out or criticize something you don't like or a person you don't like, but you don't cause any violence and you don't commit any crimes. Well, apparently in New York State, that was not how it was going. In New York City, apparently a lot of people were doing things like throwing rocks. They were doing arson and vandalism. Apparently, New York City police, the local police, were also with their SWAT unit and also with the riot police unit were going around and trying to stop these people. Now, these people weren't brave, of course. As soon as the police started coming out, they basically went for a run for it. And New York City has always been known for its bad crime, okay? There has never been a year that New York City or a time that it's never had any crime. So these people choose to celebrate, or at least to protest, the presidency of Donald Trump by vandalizing and arsoning New York City. Apparently, a lot of these people, there's been conspiracy theorists out there who have no proof or evidence, but apparently believe that the riots, the vandalism, the arson, the rock throwing, and all the crimes were being influenced by Donald Trump. That Donald Trump was having these people commit crimes in his name. Now, no one has any proof or evidence of this, but people who don't like Donald Trump claim that he encouraged it. So Donald Trump gets sworn in as president, and then he tells everybody, okay, everybody, start doing vandalism, start doing arson, start throwing rocks, and basically do it in my home city and do it in my home county and my home state. Yeah, really, that's really going to celebrate. That's really how you celebrate me becoming president, head of government, head of state, and head of the executive branch of government. Now, many critics of Donald Trump have claimed that he has no experience in government, and the only experience he has is running his own company, the Trump Organization, formerly known as Elizabeth and Son and Trump, before the Elizabeth and Son was dropped from the company's name. Apparently, Donald Trump's two sons, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, are going to be co-owners or at least co-trustees in running the company during their father's term in office. Now, one positive thing that Donald Trump is doing is he's trying to change the law, or at least the federal health care law that was put in effect by the Supreme Court, Congress, and President Barack Obama when he was president. And many people criticized this law because apparently if you did not have any insurance, medical insurance, you were fined by the Internal Revenue Service. And apparently people felt that this was unfair because there were people who could not afford to be covered by any medical insurance provider, others who didn't like what the federal insurance provider was offering them, and various other reasons. Now, I don't know exactly why a lot of people don't like him. I mean, yes, I can understand he is very opinionated. He's been known to open his mouth and run his mouth about all kinds of things without thinking. Apparently, he's been known to offend people by the things that he says. People claim that Donald Trump does not think before he says. But this video is not talking about Donald Trump or criticizing him for his behavior or his actions. But it is criticizing the people who went out of their way to commit crimes the day that he was elected. Many of Donald Trump's biggest critics claim that this proves that he's unfit for the presidency. Now, this is only if the Supreme Court or Congress think that he's unable to do the job. But as of right now, he's in office right now, and he's trying to keep his promises that he's made. And one of his promises was to try to change the federal health care law, and that's what he's currently working on right now and other things. But to those people who decided to commit crimes of arson and vandalism, both felonies, both state felony crimes, shame on you. Even if you didn't like Donald Trump, or you never liked him, or you are upset that Hillary Clinton didn't win, you should at least, come together and celebrate the fact that we had a new president. And yes, maybe he's not perfect, but then what president was? If you look back at every president we had, people have always criticized them for their behavior and their actions. And none of the presidents were perfect, They all made mistakes and all said things and did things that they certainly were not proud of. But couldn't you people have found another way to protest? Yes, there were people protesting his presidency. There were people that were criticizing it. But one thing these people protesting did not do is they did not commit crimes. The people in Washington, D.C. did not commit crimes. Yes, they protested. Yes, they disagreed. Sometimes they kind of even maybe had little arguments with people, but they didn't commit crimes, not like the New York City group that decided to commit crimes of arson and vandalism and stealing, And a lot of people claim that this proves that Donald Trump all it proves was that a bunch of idiots decided to commit crimes during the day he was sworn into office. It does not prove that he was unfit for president, and there's no evidence or proof to say that Donald Trump was in on it. Yes, there are some people who didn't like Barack Obama being president, and yes, there were some racists and idiots. Well, there were always going to be racists and idiots all over the place, and the United States is no exception. So these people believed that they were in charge again, so they started breaking things and causing crime. So that's real smart. I think it was kind of sad that this was the first Inauguration Day that the United States has celebrated in years, where the president in question was not very popular. But then again, all the presidents that were elected were sometimes unpopular with some people. But this is the first time that crimes were committed during this president's inauguration. And there were also some concerns that, as far as Washington District of Columbia was concerned, there were some people who were concerned that the Federal Bureau of that the National Security, the Secret Service Police Force, and also the Washington District of Columbia Police, local police, even the Alexandria County Police, because that is the county that the federal district is in, and he's in Allegheny County and Pittsburgh local police and Allegheny County Police and Pennsylvania State Police that were also asked to volunteer as doing security detail. were kind of concerned that the president might have terrorist attacks planned on him. They might afraid there might have been some assassination attempts. And yes, there were some idiots that decided to start throwing rocks. But I think most of the crimes that were committed were going on in New York City. You know. So shame on all you people who couldn't find any mature way to protest Donald Trump being elected into office, or any protest him not being, okay? Apparently, these people could not protest maturely. They had to go the old crime route, you know? So New York City's now got a bad reputation. They've always had a bad reputation, but this crime has made it even worse. And Donald Trump basically now has this to deal with on top of everything else. I know there's people, before I end this video, I know there's going to be people who say, well, if Hillary Clinton was elected, or if whoever, other people, well, there's no guarantee to say if these other people were elected that this stuff wouldn't happen, okay? So I'm Gabrielle Coniston, Gabrielle Amazon, Princess Amazon Queen, irritating blonde. Hope you enjoyed this video.